This morning's guest came from the Maryland Zoo. Tomorrow, he'll have the tiger by the tail. What's it all about? You'll find out coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're in the Ice House Theater in the cool country area of the Hard Rock Park. We're focused on how we're going to get them in the park, and we're visiting with the Vice President of Marketing and Sales, Kerry Graves. Good morning,
That's correct.
Kerry.
Good morning to you.
You're the man. You're the one getting them in.
Yes,
Working
indeed.
hard to make that happen. Very exciting way to kick off the week, and of course the sound check tomorrow.
Big thing. It's
Yeah.
going to be our first time to really actually open the doors and bring the public in and see the park the way it's supposed to be.
4 to 10 p.m. tomorrow, and I guess almost that same schedule for the next 3 weeks or a couple
Virtually
of nights.
up till May the 7th,
Right.
and then we go into May 8th, which is our annual pass appreciation evening, when annual pass holders can come out exclusively and experience a great concert with One Republic.
One Republic is playing on the 8th.
Yes, they are.
Wow.
That's big.
Absolutely. May 9th, even almost bigger.
Exactly. You have your annual pass bought, right?
Well,
I'll see you here that night.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Good.
You'll see me tomorrow night. I hope.
Excellent.
That's right. Yeah. To think about the kind of crowds that are already getting excited about tomorrow's kickoff, and of course a lot happening on eBay. I guess everything's wrapping up on eBay for the big
Wrapping
ticket
up,
purchase.
people ticket purchases, riding the first coaster.
Right.
That's been big. I mean, it's just we're everywhere, and it's keeping our head spinning.
When you think, Kerry, about the folks who are going to be daily drivers, you're expecting folks to drive in or contemplating folks driving in from all over?
Oh, definitely. I think we'll have people coming in, as far away as New York, Ohio. We've had calls in actually from Australia, from Japan. I doubt they'll drive,
Yeah,
but no driving yet. But I think that, in our opening season, you'll see people from all over the world, not just all over this area.
Absolutely. How exciting. Real quick about yourself. Are you originally from the area?
No, I'm originally from Texas. But with my career in the attraction business, I've been all over. So my most recent position was in Maryland. So I'm down from Baltimore.
Is that right?
That's
Great.
right.
Not a bad trip. And, of course, a lot of folks from that part of the country that will be making
That's
this
going to be a big market for us. That really
easy
will.
trip down here. As we think about, of course, the layout, and a lot of folks can go online. If a viewer needs to get off to work now or get family off to school, Kerry, is there a good number, even a website to visit, to check
Oh, definitely. I mean, check out, hardrockpark.com.
Okay.
And if you check it once, you'll check it often because it's very interactive. There's a lot of things to do, contests, promotions, new little intriguing things we put in there just to keep you coming back and entertained, as well as the information that you're going to want to see and feel before you get there. We consider the website to be probably your first real exposure to the park.
Sure.
So we want you to get that same vibe when you go online as you will when you come to the front gate. But if you want to call and get information right away, 843-236-ROCK.
Absolutely. Easy to remember that one, 236-ROCK. And, of course, a lot of folks, when you get there, there's even webcams I saw online, seeing shots of the park to really take in what you may not be able to see in a newspaper or on a radio spot. You can see it on TV, but obviously just utilizing hardrockpark.com.
There's also a real unique interactive map that's, of course, it's animated, but you can get in and see the coasters work and the rides, and if you drill down into it,
Right.
into different attractions, there's actually little hidden things there as well. So there's
Really?
a simulation of the coaster, a little sneak peek of what's going on inside the dark ride. It's a real, like I said, interactive, and a lot of fun to get in.
Folks don't need to buy a pass just to use the website there. Yeah, I mean,
Not yet, but no, definitely not.
Some nooks and cranny and a tremendous deal on the annual passes.
Oh yeah, annual passes are that's the way to go. I mean, they're $150.
Right.
It's free parking. They pay for themselves in less than three visits,
yeah.
right? And with all the concerts and the entertainment we have coming up, it's a bargain. It really is.
Other than I believe the Eagles and the Moody Blues, all those performers, 38 Special, of course, Kid Rock, some of the other tremendous performers, folks can get in with the annual pass.
Correct. Kid Rock comes in on May 13th. And with Rev Run, and that's going to be a tremendous show.
Wow.
I've seen him several times, and I'm looking forward to being there myself, if I'm not at my desk. And then we'll follow that up with May 16th with Charlie Daniels and 38 Special, along with Shooter Jennings. So once again, another big show. Let's say we go from there to the 23rd of May, which is George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelic. Remember that? That would be that's a big one. After that, I guess our highlight for the summer, at least in my opinion, is going to be our grand opening event, which happens on June 2nd and 3rd, and that is on the 2nd we have the Eagles. On the 3rd we have Moody Blues. There is an additional charge for that event because that's a special event and a very exclusive event. We'll only have a select amount of people in the park.
Right.
So it's almost like having a private concert on your own.
Wow.
All that information is available online. You can purchase tickets there.
With the Eagles.
With the Eagles.
The Moody Blues.
Exactly.
And of course, Moody Blues, I guess, excited about one of the rides out here. I'm sure
as are the Eagles.
Excited.
I mean, the Eagles have their own ride here too. Life in
right?
the Fast Lane.
Oh, great.
Moody Blues, Nice and White Satin, the Trip. We're hoping that they'll be out riding their rides as well. So you not only get a chance to see the stars, you might get a chance to interact with them.
With the sneak peek, obviously kicking off tomorrow, the idea behind sneak peek was really to have. What was the idea behind that?
Well, the idea for sneak peek is basically a soft opening, which is in the business. But what we want more is to give people an opportunity to come out and to get an actual feel for the park. I mean, we're only open basically from 4 to 10. So, you won't be able to get that all-day experience that most people are going to want.
Right.
But you will be able to ride the rides, to see the attractions, to get into the gift shops before they're all sold out.
Sure.
So it's a real good chance to come out and see what's available.
Do you want folks to give you feedback, to give you ideas of things they see, thoughts they've got?
And, the one thing that's going to separate our park from, hopefully, from all other parks is the fact that, we have rides, we have attractions. They may not be the tallest in the world or the fastest, but they are the coolest. And what's better than that, though, is what you get in this park, and that's the experience. I mean, we're not selling a ride, or we're not selling, once again, a show, but what we are giving you is we're giving you an experience that you'll walk away with and think, wow, that was cool, and I can hardly wait to come back.
The tough part of that is trying to imagine, how do you market the world's first rock and roll theme park when it's just that, when it's not a bunch of things that people have done before?
Quite honestly, I'm extremely lucky in my position because I've had a lot of help. I think that the trailblazing was done by the Hard Rock brand, by the cafes, the hotels, the casinos. I mean, what a cool place to be and a cool place to work. So as long as, we follow that synergy and go through it, I think, wow, this park will sell itself.
Yes. That brand has been built on a lot of other extensions when we think of casinos or hotels or...
One of the most, I think, top 5 recognized brands in the world.
Is that right?
That's correct.
Wow. Well, it sure shows. And to see the tremendous, as we think about just 10 days ago, as the governor was in town celebrating the opening of a $500 million investment in the Myrtle Beach area, to see another $500 million investment recognized by tomorrow's screen check.
The whole
sound check.
Sound check.
Yes.
It's all right. The whole Grand Strand area, I think, is on the cusp or right off of just blowing it off the map. I mean, we do 12 to 14 million tourists a year here already. We have one of the most beautiful beaches, I think, on the East Coast.
Yeah.
And it's pristine. It's the people are wonderful, and and the pricing here is very, very affordable. So I think that this is really, really going to be the place to be.
Absolutely, Kerry. Give viewers a sense if they're visiting for the first time, and again, hardrockpark.com or 236-ROCK. For some of our viewers in the PD, southeastern North Carolina, it's pretty easy to find if they're coming down, let's say, from Florence.
It better be, otherwise I won't be here next year. No, definitely. We have it's an easy shot in, and we have billboards everywhere, as you've probably seen, and information. Everybody knows about it. It should be an easy trek in, and like I said, a wonderful day in the park.
Absolutely. Let's give a little sense if they're visiting for the first time for tomorrow's sound check. If they're here,
let me back up on that a bit and let me explain to you a little bit about the park and
please.
Why we do the things we do here. The park, as it's set up right now, is set up in 6 separate environs or zones. We don't call them lands; they're not worlds, because they're each under themselves a unique piece of the experience, or I would say a different facet of rock and roll, if you will. And the reason we did this is because Myrtle Beach is an extremely family destination. Your parents come with you, your kids, yourself, so the generations span. And what we found here in the research we did, and just in walking around and looking, is that the family likes to stick together. Family doesn't want to split up in this market. Now, being in this business for a long time, I can tell you when I go into a theme park, the first thing I do is look at my watch and I'll say, okay, everybody be back here at 4 o'clock, and mom takes the little kids and they go off to the little kid things, the teens go off to do the thrill rides, My folks are there, they'll go off and catch a show, and I'll find a nice dark corner in a restaurant someplace, and then we'll all cook back up at 4. But here, you know, we want to keep the family together because it is very important. And that's one reason why we didn't set this park up into like 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. Because once again, people are going to, you know, spread out and separate into the area of music they like the best.
Right, right.
So let me walk you through the way we did this. If you go into, and I'm going to take you in the park on a clockwise venture. So we're going to go into the park, and first of all, coming into the all-access area.
Yeah.
Now, the all-access area is a real cool place with little shops. It's a gift shops, of course, restaurants, cafes, a little place you can walk in, and it's actually built where you're going to, you know, it's I won't say narrow, but it's not very open. And when I say that, it's not like you're going to walk in and see a whole park laying in front of you, but we want it to sneak up on you as you go through. So the all-access area, once again, a nice place to get oriented, have a cup of coffee, you know, get the kids spiced up in some candy, and then head into the park. If you go then, like I said, in a clockwise way, the first environment you'll get into is called Rock and Roll Heaven. And Rock and Roll Heaven basically pays tribute to great rock and roll artists of all time, not just those that are not with us anymore. But those that are great, and the music that, you know, that people know and really associate with across the time spans. So everybody from, you know, from B.B. King, Buddy Holly, all the way up to the current bands.
Sure.
Rock and Roll Heaven has our signature roller coaster in it, and that is Led Zeppelin the Ride. And that's one to see. That really is. Led Zeppelin the Ride. We built it. It's directly in the flight path of directly in, but it's in the flight path of the airport. Therefore, we built it as high as we could.
Right.
So, you know, you'll be at the top of the ride, and you know, jets will literally be soaring right over your head. It's a real cool experience. But
safely.
Very safely.
Safely.
Very safely.
Yeah,
Safety is number one at this park. We and now we'll you know, we stress that. Yeah. But the Led Zeppelin is actually the whole ride's choreographed to a whole lot of love. So, you know, you go around and so forth, and it's really cool, the onboard speaker system, which is something you won't see anyplace else either. Most rides, if you've been on rides that play music, your speakers are mounted behind your head.
Sure.
And while it sounds good in theory, you know, when you're moving, it can be a little less than what you expect, right? We actually have our speakers mounted up in front, so you're actually riding into the music. So that's going to make it a real
pretty long song there, Kerry.
Yeah, it's a long song, but just to let you know, the roller coaster doesn't last 7 minutes.
Right.
It's a 2-minute ride, but the entire experience starts once again as you get into the queue line. As you come up, you'll start hearing the song.
Right.
You'll walk into the facility. The song will follow you in. The music will follow you throughout, and last until the ride's over and you exit the park.